y'all, welcome. I guess what we start with is make sure we're in a safe place, make sure our surroundings. If you're in your truck, make sure you pull it over to the side and in a safe area. You know, please don't be driving and trying to take this meeting. But you know, safe to share. I was coming up here, and we really need to be careful while we're traveling too. It's got to the place where everything's defensive almost. You got to be paying attention to everybody else because people are getting back to their old habits of driving. It's like a drag race now. I'm running a little late today because I actually had to pull over and take an emergency call, so sorry about being late. Anybody else got a safe to share?
Hey, Howard.
Yes, sir.
You talking about 100% defensive driving? It's because a lot of it's because of all these people that have this cell phone holder right in the middle of their steering wheel, so they can be on their cell phone texting and reading and all this kind of stuff while they're driving.
Oh yeah, yeah. I came by a lady the other day on 40, and I'm thinking, what is she doing? And I got over to the right of her because she was in the second lane, and I just glanced over. She had a book open on her steering wheel. She was reading, and I'm thinking, what in the world? So, you know, it's some crazy things you see out there. So, yeah, we all need to be very vigilant about when we're driving. I guess we can go ahead and start. Paris, if you want to, anything else that anybody needs to bring up?
Nope.
All right, go ahead there.
Okay. So welcome to March 2023, Rockingham UCC. Kind of got low numbers today compared to last time we met. This one does meet every other month. Hopefully the next time we get together, the numbers will be up. I did get an email from an individual from the DOT this morning that said he was going to be out of pocket. He wouldn't be able to make it. So here is a message from Mr. Lewis Panzer, our executive director. You know, it does feel like spring out there, but the weather in March is kind of unpredictable. It'll seem like it's spring, and you know it'll turn out to snow, one of the heaviest snow months of the month. So for that reason, please take your gardening and seriously. If you already planted some stuff, make sure you cover them up because it's going to be in the low 30s again tonight. Again. Positive response reminder. So at the bottom of the email, we put a positive response reminder. It's been added to the tickets to remind excavators as well. It is the law. Check your positive response before you go out there and start your excavation. So the no-call reasons, they are assessing the reasons for no-call damages. Hang on, somebody's trying to join in. Who we got? Chuck Austin dropped off. He's got to come back in. Okay. We got you back, Chuck.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Again, they are assessing the reason, and we've got the information from the no calls from Duke Energy and Dominion on no call. So as soon as those results are compiled, he will put that out. The CGA, they've got a bold goal. They want to do a 50% reduction in damages in the next 5 years. So something they've taken on, and it's called 50 and 5. And especially to the critical underground utilities, yeah, they're really going to start hammering on that. Last but not least, stay safe. And remember that technically winter isn't over yet. Again, kind of along the lines of the first slide. Spring has sprung. All right, so we got some new banners out. These are the new ones. We try to make them clear and concise so somebody that's driving down the road can read, know what's below, call 811 before you dig, instead of all of that other stuff on here. So if you need some, I do have some in my car. We're trying to limit two to an area. I know, Chuck, you've got some in the past, but if you guys need some new ones, let me know. I can get up with you. I do have to fill out some paperwork. We're trying to keep track of these to find out where they're going, Once you do request these and put these up, there's a QR code here at the bottom left. If you will take a picture with that and then kind of populate the information in there, that way we can keep track of not only who has it, but where it is. We want it in a high traffic volume area.
Yeah, Parrish.
Yes, sir.
I've got about, I've gotten some over the years.
Yep.
And I've had a lot of them for a long time. We got about 8 or 10 that we put up every April.
Yeah.
And some of them are getting in pretty bad shape. I just kind of been able to make them do and attach them to one of our fences near some busy roads and all with zip ties and all. But some of them are well worn that I have. I've had to throw 1 or 2 away last year, but I still got enough to do me this year right now, I think, unless you just got one you want to, get
Well, I mean,
rid of.
I can hook you up with 2 of them if you're in dire need of them. Yep.
Well, I'd say I probably can use them.
Okay. Well, just get up with me sometime here in
Okay.
the near future, and you're going to be at the Guilford UCC. You know.
I'm gonna do my best to be there.
Okay.
But you know how these fires come up on the gas line.
I understand. Well, I'm rolling around with 20 of them in my car right now, so I can definitely hook you up. Okay, buddy.
All right, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I just texted Danny Frazier. I know we talked about it in Greensboro
Yeah.
a couple months ago, and I apologize. I never followed up with him. Just texted him to see if some of our reg stations, in high traffic areas. I would assume it's allowable, but I'm gonna make sure.
Okay. Yeah.
We probably need to get a couple.
All right. So looking at the numbers, again, this is always across the state of North Carolina, and we're going to be looking at February last month versus February of 2022. And we have a 13.3% increase in that monthly average, and then 16.9 year to date. So that's only going to entail 2 months, January, February. Just like Lewis was alluding to last month, we're getting ready for this big surge that always comes in the spring. When I was in the military, they call it the summer surge. Most of the troops who came in the basic training came in the summer. Not sure why, but that always happened. So yeah, we're getting ready for the spring surge. We've hired 4 new CSRs to bring us to a total of 48 across the state of North Carolina, and 3 of those CSRs are bilingual. So we're reaching out to the Spanish community as well. Transmissions, again, looking at February versus 2022, 11.5% increase, and moving to the right, it's a 14% increase year to date. So again, an uptick over 2021. Rockingham, you can see the 3-hour increase slightly, not much, 29.6. The new tickets, 39%, and the ticket update, 12.1. Average locations per day in Rockingham, 70, which is really relatively higher than a lot of my other counties. Year to date, Rockingham is at 44.6%, new tickets 37.2. Again, this is going to be January, February, and a ticket update holding steady at about 21%. Average location year to date, 67. And out of the 1,403 tickets that were requested in February, you can see Eden had 305, and then Reedsville at 604. Even Stoneville had 108. So a couple of them made triple digits. And since we're in Wentworth, we'll mention them at 28. All right, so this is the report that we usually generate. In the past, it's always been, these are the damages that were reported to 811, either by the excavator or the utility owner itself. But now we're rolling up the damages that reported at NC 811 and also to the CGA through the dirt report. So we're combining those 2. Now, with that being said, some of the stakeholders report monthly, some report quarterly, some report annually. So this is just a snapshot in time of where we're at with the damages. Rockingham County had 6 reported last month. But you know if Piedmont Natural Gas had any in the area that reported? Yeah. You know how many?
I know the one there behind we lost about 30 some. Oh, right there behind the next one. Yeah.
It was a no call or?
No, it was located
they were moving a water meter. It's a new house, and they were moving a water meter where they'd already laid it out, and then it was gonna be in the driveway. They had already spotted it, had it uncovered, and then they hit it on down the line a little bit. I'm not 100% sure how they done that, but
Okay. So you guys at least have one of the 6 out of it. As a reminder, contractors, please, what we're finding is there's a uptick in homeowner requests for locates. And I think you can attest to this, Joel, as well, that some of the folks out there in the field who are working in the Watch and Protect program are talking to homeowners. The contractors are having the homeowners call these tickets in, take the onus off of them, right? But what they don't understand is that they're not covered on that ticket if the homeowner calls it in. They're going to receive that bill. So we're asking the contractors to take ownership of that, call it in initially, and if it needs updated, if you're still outside working in the area and the ticket's coming up, 12 days, go ahead and renew it because it does take 3 working days. So please tell the homeowners, don't do that. Put the onus back on the contractors. Now, with that being said, I did talk to one homeowner one time. They said, well, yeah, if they called it in, they were going to charge us $90. I said, well, it's a free service. I don't know why they're charging you $90. So if they called it in, it's going to be $90. If the homeowner called it in, it was going to be free, no charge. I would just get a different contractor.
We're the only one that gets charged to sell them, right?
Well, they were charging the homeowner to go out there and do the work, and if they called it in, they were going to charge them $90.
Just to make fun.
Yeah. Somebody have something, Chuck? You have something? Or was that Joe?
Well, I was going to add to that, Parrish. Every once in a while, I'll get a ticket from one of my landowners where they got a contractor going to come in and do some work for them.
Yep.
And the contractor will get them to call in a 811 ticket for the work. And I have to educate my landowners because a lot of them are not aware that the onus is not on them, it's on the person actually doing the work to call in a ticket.
That's correct. Yep.
And so I didn't realize till you stated just now that if the homeowner calls a ticket in for a contractor and something gets damaged, the contract or whatever, the contractor's not covered.
That's correct. Now, since we're all here within the gas industry, I can let you on a little secret. If the homeowner calls it in and they put the contractor on there as a contractor or subcontractor, then they're covered. If they don't mention them on that ticket at all, legally they're not covered.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if I'm a contractor and I have a bunch of subcontractors under me, if I'm the master contractor, I can list as many subcontractors that I want on that ticket. It does a couple things. It covers them on a ticket, and then it keeps the system from being overloaded from 50 contractors working on the same job site calling in their own tickets.
Right.
Like
Okay.
that contractor has to
All right.
have that
Yeah.
in hand.
I'm just letting you know
They
that.
gotta have it, like,
Yeah, so it's happening. And again, I started digging into it. One guy's like, yeah, they're going to charge me $90. And I said, well, I can't tell you what to do, but I think I might be looking for a different contractor.
That's right. That sounds like a loan shark on this side.
Yeah. So a couple of important dates coming up. The North Carolina Underground Damage Prevention Review Board is going to meet next month. That's going to be April the 18th at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday at the NC811 Event Center. So if you would like to know more about it, you can follow along at their URL right here, and you can gain a lot more knowledge. If you've never been to it, I would challenge you to go check it out. You can actually see the photos of who sits on the board and then when they're coming off the board as well. So it's pretty cool. Now they are nominated and then they have to be vetted and kind of appointed by the governor of North Carolina. So it's a fairly prestigious position to hold. State UCC, March 21st coming up here this month. That's going to be at Dominion Energy, 10 a.m. in Raleigh. That one will be a hybrid meeting. We are asking that the the chairs, the co-chairs, and the secretary attend these meetings. If you can't physically be there in Raleigh, because it's a pretty good haul, it's about an hour and 45 minutes for me from the house. But you do have a chance to jump on the Teams platform like you two guys are here. Thank you for being on the Teams platform today and not in person. The North Carolina Locate Resolution Partnership Committee is going to meet the following day, March the 22nd, again at the NC 811 Event Center. That does take place at 11. Again, hybrid meeting, so if you can't physically be there, you can jump on the Teams platform and attend virtually. As a reminder, the North Carolina Locate Resolution Partnership Committee is kind of in between the local UCC, and the state UCC, and they address more locate issues that are going on. I know in the past it's been brought up the other day in one of my meetings that if somebody calls for a locate and it's on Piedmont system and the locators that you guys contract with go out and locate, they can't locate, they turn it back into you. And then sometimes it's a hot minute before that gets located, so they're having to update their ticket. If you could reach back out to them and let them know how long it's going to take you to go out there and work your magic, run that little rod inside and locate that to make that
By the
good.
time the locator goes out there, it's turned unlocatable in the same.
Yeah.
Sam goes and makes it. If they can't fix it, then they turn it back.
What's the timeline for that? Do you know how?
Well, it depends, and Joel could probably touch base on it. But I mean, it can be weeks.
Yeah, and that's what they're running into. They
Yeah.
call locate in, it's supposed to get 15 days, and then, you know, weeks go by, everybody's located except for the gas, and it becomes an issue. Now they're having update tickets, and people are going back up there and retracing their marks. Yeah.
And if Sam gets it, if Sam locates it, they send it back over to, he, of course, for us. And they say that the ticket can be released, so they'll release it. If we go out and fix it, we do the same thing. We talk to Sam and he, say this ticket now can be located, you will release it.
Yeah. So with that being said, anybody got anything else to add to that? Joe? I know he had a hard break. He might be gone now. Doing our treasure hunt again. I don't know if you had a chance to do it last year, but we did award. Last year it was $811, but this year we're just doing $300. Budget constraints, I guess. So it's fairly simple. You go online, you go to the treasure hunt. Last year there was 6 videos, 30-second videos. At the end of each video, you just answer a thinking question. And if you've ever attended any of the UCCs, you'll know the answer to them. But if you pay attention to the videos, you'll get them too. And then if you're all right, your name goes to a pot. It's automatically drawn, and they'll play the video so you can see who the winner is. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So again, I awarded $811 to an individual last year. He was really happy to get it. We're going to do it again this year. So hopefully somebody from my area, so I can get that big check out of the closet at work and right on there again. 811 Takeover Night is going to be March the 31st, the end of this month. And again, that's sponsored by Piedmont Natural Gas along with 811. So last year, Piedmont Natural Gas came out. I think we had 2 individuals. And we set up a table, 811 did. Safety Sam rang the bell to start the thing. And then we actually got to ride the Zamboni. So Tammy Stout rode the Zamboni one time. And then Safety Sam rode the Zamboni one lap. So has anybody ever ridden the Zamboni? I got to ride that thing last year. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so again, if you want to help support that, come on out. And there's all kind of messaging on the center scoreboard about 811, Piedmont Natural Gas, and call before you dig. WIC Week is going on now, March the 5th through the 11th, and it just kind of celebrates women in construction. Kind of a thank you for all the women who play a valuable part in the industry. So they take a week out to honor them. But all year long, they have meetings. There's local chapters, and then there's a state chapter. I know Tammy Stout, who I just mentioned, is a member of the Mecklenburg or the Charlotte area chapter. Yeah, and this year's theme, Many Paths, One Mission, and it just celebrates women in construction. As always, if you want us going to 811 World, you can go to the NC 811 website, the NCUC website, or the NC 811 app. And with that being said, we've got the joint conference coming up. We do ask that the chair folks, right, and the secretaries come up and join that. It's going to be in Cherokee this year. There is a spot right before the thing wraps up, about 11 o'clock. You get a chance to go up there. Hey, Howard Jordan, I chair the Rockingham UCC. We meet every other month. We need folks to come out. You know, attendance was low. You know, COVID kind of fluctuated, but it's low again. And again, Piedmont has supported that in the past. And Wednesday is golf day. I'm always reminded I need to make sure that I let folks know that Wednesday's golf day. Play golf or you can enjoy the mountains out there. It's pretty cool. These are some of the things I got. That's where it's going to be in the casino. Got a lot of vendors. I spoke to a lot of folks who have been just off of the UCC. They didn't know what was going on. There's some located training going on. They want to, they've got certain positions open, but they don't want to stuff to register so they can get a myriad of utilities or municipalities coming up with located. NCUCC again is the place to be. Go up there and click on the joint NCSC conference and register yourself. I had Robert Memory. I don't know if you guys know him. He retired from the state, but he was wanting to know if he could just come up and play golf. And I said, well, yeah, I think the golf is a separate entity itself. With, you know, monies, and then the monies for the. He goes, I just want to come up and play golf. So I said, all right, cool. There is your NC 811 good-looking education team led by Miss Ann Rushing there in the middle. And there is Mr. Tyler Ross. He is our newest liaison for the western part of North Carolina. Thank you for your time and attention. Again, a copy of this PDF along with the video minutes will be uploaded, and I'm going to do it as soon as I get done with this meeting and save it. And then it'll be on Mr. Steve Moore to upload that for us. So, barring any questions and or comments, folks, that concludes my presentation.
Thanks, Parrish. I guess we can see if there's any projects or anything going on. I guess, Chuck, if you want to start out, you can go ahead and let us know what y'all got coming up in Rockingham.
Well, we got some modifications, additions. It's going to be kicking off in a few months here at the compressor station on Highway 65. I'm right up here above the station now with some crews from Deep Power. They're relocating some power lines for us to get them away from this area where we're going to be having new construction, and it should be starting up in the next 2 or 3 months. And it'll continue for about 1.5 years, actually. So, doing some upgrades, additions, whatever, to our compressor station. And other than that, Howard, trying to think, don't know of anything specific other than the usual stuff that happens all along my pipeline every year, like some recode activities or anomaly digs or stuff like that. But I have that every year. I don't have any big construction projects out on the pipeline that I can think of right now for this year.
Hey, Chuck, is your flag program that you guys just instituted in North Carolina, Texas, is it having an effect so far? Is there a way to measure that?
Well, it is. I think it's having a positive effect, Parrish. It's of course, as I told y'all about, it's much more visible than just a pin flag sticking in the ground. We haven't had any unauthorized encroachments where we have met with a contractor to scope out work. We hadn't had anybody slipping in there, trying to put something in the ground when we weren't there or anything like that. And we, had people make comments that they, how noticeable and conspicuous those flags are. So if it prevents just a handful of unauthorized encroachments, it's worth it to us because, we always strive for and must try to strive for zero incidents on our pipeline just for public safety and our safety.
Yeah. When you put that information on there, you use a permanent marker.
I do, but just between you and me, it'll come off with some brake clean.
Okay. All right. So you could reuse it. I guess that's what I was trying to allude to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We can reuse it, but I don't have a large crew that helps me on the right of way. It's just 2 or 3 of us most of the time. Right. So
okay.
we can reuse those flags effectively.
Cool. Y'all saw the flags.
Yeah, I actually presented them to our group, and
okay.
And they said they'd look into it.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're neat. I mean, I think it would help, especially if you got projects and stuff like that coming.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. You got anything else, Chuck?
No, right off the top of my head, Howard. I think that covers it. Y'all have already mentioned. Well, Parrish mentioned the uptick in tickets in Rockingham County, and some of this. I have been getting quite a few tickets recently from some of this competing fiber coming in. Where you got all kinds of companies wanting to get in on the fiber market, and you'll have one going down one side of the road, and then another one will come in and put another fiber on the other side of the road and compete. So I am going to have some more crossings, but they should be relatively simple, hopefully.
Thank you, sir. Andy, you got anything off the top of your head? No. I know we've got a major project starting at Dan Valley, and I was going to get with Clint if he was here from state. We've got a major project going across the river there at that bridge. They're going to replace that bridge. That's really about the only project that I foresee other than, just like you said, easement crossing, stuff like that. Up there around Blues, we've been fortunate up there so far, but I feel like the way building's going, that's probably going to change before long. But yeah, that's really all I have is the one on Dan Valley.
Yeah, David Folks is the one who sent me the email. Said he wouldn't be able to make it today.
Okay.
So that's Clint, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was. Well, the next time we're going to get together as a group is going to be May the 10th. May the 10th. Again, all my meetings are hybrid, so if you can't physically be here, as long as you can jump online and let us know what's going on in your area, that is outstanding.
Hey, Parrish.
Yes, sir.
I just want to mention, Howard, I mentioned that those tickets I've started to get even in Rockingham County for some more fiber going in. I just giving you a heads up on that, kind of pass the word along to your people that, to be expecting that and in the near future, and might be all hands on deck. So I hope not, but I'm just, how these contractors and installers work sometimes. And then one other thing too, I know y'all are aware of this, with Piedmont, I didn't mention it, but I believe that y'all will eventually get started on this OPP project up here at the Bethany meter station above my compressor station. We've been talking about it for a long time, and they trying to iron out the last couple of details, I think, on land, but it's ready to go. Everything's in order, so that's another meter station y'all be doing right away.
Yeah, I haven't seen the specifics on that right yet, Chuck, but I have heard them talk about it. So I'll have to get with the measurement group TFOs and see what's going on there.
Like a big man down in Charlotte?
Probably will, but we'll have local people still up there too.
Okay. Yeah, I know Joseph's involved and other.
Well, thank you very much, Chuck.